Okay, I hope that we've come some way beyond the notion that grammar is the rules for changing the form of words and combining them into sentences, and that we've perhaps got a clearer idea of why languages actually do need it, not just so that you can express yourself and communicate meanings, but what kind of meanings can't be communicated without it, for what exactly is it needed for, and then what else does it pick up once it's there. It is an odd session. It's got no obvious pedagogic relevance. That's to say, this is not the kind of session that you go to and think, oh, great, well, I can do that in my class tomorrow morning. I do think, myself, that this particular exploration is valuable pedagogically for one or more reasons, actually. Remembering back to when I was age 12 and got sent to a school where they started teaching us Latin and French, we were suddenly bombarded with all this terminology, nominative, accusative, perfect, imperfect, which we had no preparation for this at all, and it suddenly came out of the sky. And the big question in our minds was, why do these languages do these very peculiar things? Why do you have to stick these things on the end of words, etc., etc., etc.? Nobody ever explained to us. That was just the way things were. You know, you learnt French because that was the way French was. You learnt the grammar because it was there. But I think perhaps for people who are going to start a new language, actually looking at why grammar is necessary and why it does what it does might help them towards understanding why they've got to learn the rather tedious things they have to learn. You could also argue that for children, mother tongue children, learning mother tongue in secondary schools perhaps, that this is simply a valuable thing to explore in its own right. I think it's good for children to look in interesting ways about how language works, how languages work. Not learning a whole lot of detail, but just looking at what sort of thing language is. Because it's complicated and interesting, and if it's not made boring, it's fascinating. And after all, as Catherine Walter put it very memorably, all children have to learn biology at school, but no children are called on to photosynthesize. But all children use language. Thank you very much for listening.